I'm Janky Gorilla.
And I'm Dopey Chimp.
And we're Apes on Movies.
Yep.
Yeah, the intro's already gone.
Oh.
So anyway. Alright, so today we're going to be talking about what we collectively recommend as the worst bad thing.
The best, worst
movie
you've ever seen.
That we think that you've ever seen. And it doesn't agree with the charts, but we've chosen this one for a specific reason.
Yes.
And that movie is...
Titanic 2.
Lightning strikes twice in the same spot, apparently, in the ocean. And there's another. There's another. So, if you've not heard of Titanic 2, boy, are you in for a treat. Directed by Shane Van Dyke.
And starring Shane Van Dyke.
And starring Shane Van Dyke, a legendary among legendaries. He's even friends with Barney Stinson. We don't even know how to even express our love-hate for this movie. Because it's the most love-hate I've ever had for a movie.
It's like being in one of those relationships where you started off, you know it's not gonna last, but then you get to this weird part where you just have to see where it goes.
Makes sense. It's like being set on fire and there's a pond in front of you, but you hate yourself.
This movie is produced by a studio called The Asylum, who come out with all of these bad...
They're actually behind Avengers 4.
Yeah. Avengers 4? This movie is the exact opposite of the original Titanic.
In every freaking
way.
Every way.
This movie, first off, the Asylum company, they make all these movies that are just rip-offs and just... They combine two movies and rip them off at the same time.
They even come close with the names. I mean, Titanic 2, that's obviously a rip-off, but there's some of them like the... Paranormal Entity.
Yeah, and a haunting in New Salem or something like not New Salem. God. We had to back that up. And a haunting in Salem. It's just...
and then there's another one.
The race car one.
Racer? It's called Racer?
It's called Racer?
Yeah.
So the plot is they have reimagined the exact Titanic ship, except they've improved upon the places where the original ship...
Like radar.
Yeah, and so Shane Van Dyke plays this billionaire philanthropist.
I think he's a bazillionaire.
Probably.
A trillionaire.
Who lands on the ship via helicopter like he's a Bruce Wayne or something.
With women.
With women.
With women under his arms.
Of course, he has this love-hate relationship with one of the waitresses.
That's coincidence.
And, on board the ship. And then, if memory serves me correctly... of course, we all know how the original Titanic actually sank and how the movie depicts it. The ship runs into an iceberg.
In the first movie.
In this movie, though, there's some sort of storm that causes the iceberg to run into the ship. So it's nobody on the ship's fault.
Flip it.
It's Mother Nature in this movie. There are beats in this movie that are so stupid. Like, for example, one of our favorite scenes is when the ship... First off... When the ship is sinking, you see them go through different floors of the ship. Each floor looks incredibly different from the other one. One looks like a hospital wing. One looks like a hotel floor. And then there's the basement that they're in, the bottom floor, which is all made of cement.
Which makes no sense.
It makes no sense. They have to climb... They're having to...
There's water... so water's coming through the bottom of the ship at this point, and there's water in this hallway, and then there's like electrical wires down, so the water is... there's electricity flowing through it, so they get the bright idea to shimmy along some overhead pipes to avoid the water.
Which, if you saw this puddle, the puddle is literally this big. They could have just stepped over it.
Probably step over
it. And would have skipped all of that, but they had to... spend a significant amount of time on them,
15 minutes
on them trying to shimmy across.
So his love interest gets over the puddle, also quite coincidental, and her arm slips. So her arm slips and it's hanging, and then he comes, "I'll save you," and he comes flying up to her, and he lifts her arm. He's like, "Ugh," and he helps her reattach her arm. Like, her arm is the problem. Like, it's so heavy she can't lift it.
It's so bad. And you see the exterior shots of the ship. You see the ship and you see the water around it moving. But if you look just past that, the ocean isn't moving. It's
horrible acting.
Horrible acting. If you love watching bad movies, if you love laughing at terrible movies, this is a good 2 a.m. movie.
Definitely.
When you got a weekend, we actually watched it late one night. It was like 2 a.m. and
likely.
we laughed and laughed to the point that by the end of this movie, we hated it. We almost hated each other. We were wanting to strangle anyone who had anything to do with this movie. It's just awful. If you have a hankering to watch just a really terrible movie, the one that you can laugh at, make fun of, just have your whole like mystery science theater moment with, this is the movie to do.
Absolutely.
This is absolutely the movie. It's just the worst.
And then while you're at it, go ahead and check out Shane Van Dyke's other collection.
Oh, please watch his whole filmography. All of it is just awful. All right. Anyway, comment below on your favorite bad movies or ones you would like for us to watch, and get back to you about. Like and subscribe, and eat your vegetables. Be nice to each other.
Try doing this. There it is. That's an S, right? Is that an S?
I don't know anymore.
I can't do this.